I don't think there's any job I'd rather do than this, you know. Except maybe there's a way I could like play video games and fart for a living. But you know, soon come inshallah. Yeah, man, it's the best job in the world, or one of them, you know. I'm glad I took the plunge. You know what I mean? It's still mad that people buy with their hard-earned money to come and watch me, you know. But it's still mad that hundreds of people just, you know, left their home, traveled from wherever, put their evening in my hands.
Ladies and gentlemen, your boy from Croydon, it's Nabil Abdulrashid!
Stop it. Oh my God. Thank you so much for coming out, man. I appreciate you. It's been great, man. Thank you for supporting this, you know. So for those of you who are wondering, hi, my name is Nabil. I'm a comedian. And recently I've been doing bits and pieces of TV and radio, which has been great, you know. It means I've been spending a lot of time with people who are not like me. Posh people. And no offense to anyone in the room that identifies as posh. I know some of you came down from Pearly today. You know? But when I say posh, I mean like really posh. You know those people that are so posh, they don't do anything normal anymore. Like, they don't even like laugh normal. They laugh like they've got COVID and diarrhea at the same time. I can't let it out either way, you know. Like sometimes I'll turn up to do some filming, right? And there'll be that one guy that's a bit too happy to see me talking like, Nabil. He's excited because he finally gets to talk to someone from the ghetto, right? So, Nabil, I just want to ask you a question, Nabil. Nabil, let's play a game. I'm like, what? I play no games, bro. Bad man don't play games. Hey, don't be silly, Nabil. Try it. You're going to love it, Nabil. Love it. Nabil. Nabil, describe where you live in 3 words. I said, what? What kind of moist game is that? I ain't playing that. I got it with this. I said, no, try. You're gonna love it. I didn't know my gap, yeah. You're gonna love it. No. Describe where you live in 3 words. So describe where I live in 3 words. Okay. It's the official sign language for Croydon. To be fair, actually, no, it's not fair. It's unfair. Most of Croydon, as we know, is okay. Majority of Croydon is lovely. It's just one part of Croydon that gives the rest of us a bad reputation. Fucking West Croydon High Street. Some of them are here. Fuck you guys, man. Listen. West Croydon High Street going into Fountain Heath. I don't know what it is. I don't know. I think it's the crack particles in the air. I don't know. But I've been to many countries in my life. I've been to many cities. I've seen some mad stuff. But West Croydon High Street is the only place in the world I've seen a man carrying a baby and still trying to rob someone else. Why your blood? Let me see that watch, big man. Yeah, what? What are you looking at? Yeah. Obviously, man's a babysitter part-time, innit? It's not my fault, fam, it's the economy. I'm just trying to diversify my portfolio, rude boy, you get me? Listen, I'm a producer as well. Spit some bars, little man. Baby shark, do. Everybody in West Croydon is crazy, gangster, or both, right? Even the halal butchers. Yeah, don't play with them, get seen some shit. The halal butchers of West Croydon, right? These guys have come over from Kurdistan, Iraq, Afghanistan, you know, Kashmir, everywhere MI5 is currently monitoring. And they've come over, You know, they fled war, bloodshed, political pandemonium that we have caused. Well, I say we lightly. It wasn't us. These guys have come over and they've come over not even able to speak a word of English. They've learned how to speak English from listening to 50 Cent and watching Top Boy. And in that process, they didn't learn anything about customer service. This is such a familiar. Every time you see the cultures clashing, you see like proper bad man, road man coming to the butchers. Proper road man coming like, fucking, hey, oh, boss man. Because the official title of every shopkeeper in Croydon, working with you, been buying for you for 10 years, your name is still boss man, fam. That's what it is. Say, hey, oh, boss man. Yesterday I bought some chicken from you and it stank. Yo, give me back my money now before I punch in your face, bruv. Now, this would intimidate any ordinary boss man. But this is no ordinary boss man. This is Al-Haji Ahmed. And 1 week ago, Al-Haji Ahmed was fighting alongside the Taliban. Haji Ahmed does not give a shit about your customer dissatisfaction or your smelly chicken. Haji Ahmed's response is simple, concise, and succinct. He responds with, and I quote, fuck to you. Yani fuck to you. I know like you are yani very bitch, right? I said, yo, man just called man very bitch. I said, is it the measurement of bitch that's the problem, right? Would you rather be a sprinkle of bitch, a dollop of bitch, a spoonful of bitch, makes the medicine go round? Said, man just called you a bitch, bro. You're not gonna have that. He's like, no. I'm like, yeah. He's like, no. He's like, yeah, no. Okay, I was instigating him because I like to watch conflict when I'm safe. Turn around, hey, oh, boss, man. Hey, what man saying in it, yeah? You need to run me my money back now before it gets political. Ahmed was unperturbed because 2 weeks ago, Ahmed was throwing stones at tanks. He's seen real political. You don't scare him. Ahmed's response to your insolence is simple, succinct, and concise. It is, and I quote, fuck to you. Fuck to you. You are يعني bembe khilat. Not bombo khilat, no. Bembe khilat. Well, you see what he did is he took a Jamaican patois swear word and he transformed into something that sounds delicious with falafel. Just, Habibi, could I have one falafel with some bembe khilat? Yeah. He said, raw. Man just called man bumper clock with a kha. So you're not gonna have that. He said, no. He turned around, he said, yo! Who said? Hey, what man saying here? Hey, what man saying? No, I can't have it, bro. Hey, what man saying now? Boom. You know it's bad when they go boom. When they start detonating imaginary bombs, you're finished. I said, boom. Hey, what man saying, boss man? You need to give me more money back now, or I'm going to leave your shop, come back with the man them, shank you in your eye, and get the man them to rob your shop. Ahmed was not worried. Because 3 weeks ago, Ahmed used an AK-47 to clean his teeth. You think he's scared of your butter knife? And your band of not so merry man there? Ahmed's response to your foolishness was simple, succinct, and concise. He said, and I quote, fuck to you. Now here's the thing, I don't know who here has spent time in the ghetto. Have you been to the ghetto? Oh, I'm so sorry, it must have been so hard for you. See, I'm the David Attenborough of the ghetto. What you have to understand is in the ghetto, when someone threatens you, you have to escalate. It's just how it goes. I didn't make the rules, I don't glamorize it, I just analyze it. Now Ahmed is ghetto. Maybe from another country, but hood is hood. Albert Einstein said that. Ahmed knows the ghetto equation. Hype plus hype equals more hype. So he had to escalate things, but here's the problem. He lacked the verbal dexterity in the English language to express best how unhappy he was with the situation. Because like I said, he learned his English from listening to 50 Cent and watching Talk Boy. That's 2 sets of slang. So what does he say? I'm gonna whoop your ass. American style, I lick man down. London style. He needs to compromise. He said, yeah, I been Sharmuta. You get out my shop now, or else I gonna lick your ass. The roadman turned like, yo, did my man just say? He said, yes, that is what I am saying. I lick your ass. Brother, if you see the way the roadman evaporated from the shop, I've never seen a man with pants so low run so fast. Huh? Can you blame him? Big man, would you stay there? Someone said they're going to lick your ass. What about you? Would you stay there? What? Oh. I don't blame you. I would too. Listen, all I'm saying is this, though. Croydon is a mad environment, and I'm a product of my environment. And I know this, and that is why I'm on a journey of self-improvement. See, whether you like it or not, we've all been brainwashed. We've all been, we've all been made into something. We're all left-wing, right-wing, red pill, blue pill, conservative, progressive. We all talk about ourselves with man-made terms that we never created, right? We're trapped online in algorithms, seeing the same stuff that confirms our beliefs. This is slavery, and the only way to free yourself from ideological slavery is to make friends with people from different walks of life from yourself so that you can see things from a different perspective. Now, yes. I know this, and that is why I have done just this. Oh yes, I have befriended one very different from myself. Why, recently I have made friends with a liberal middle-class white guy because they know everything. His name's Jethro. If you don't have one, you should get one, darling. You too, honestly, man. My Jethro's, I'll show you how good he is. Whenever I see something on TV that I'm not sure about, I ask him, and if he says it's racist, then I get offended. What would us black and brown people do without the sensibilities of the liberal white middle class, huh? Things you have to understand, right? You have to understand where I'm coming from. I come from a very hyper-masculine culture, right? Growing up, the only emotion I was taught that it was okay for me as a man to express was aggression, right? We didn't talk about our feelings because that's moist. But Jethro didn't have those problems. He doesn't mind being a moist guy. In fact, he relishes it. That's why he's always talking to me about moist stuff. Like then he was like, Nabil. Sorry, that's my moist liberal guy face. Just said, Nabil. I'm like, what, man? Nabil. Nabil, I just want to ask you a question. I said, go ahead, bro. He said, Nabil, do you have any fears? So of course I have fears. I live in Croydon. Are you mad? He said, Nabil, we're so alike. We're so alike, Nabil. I've got fears too. I said, really? What do you have to be scared of, bro? He said, Nabil, my greatest fear is that I may never live up to my true potential. I said, my friend, get out of my house. What kind of gentrified fear is that? Huh? That's how you know you're privileged, when all your fears are abstract. Right? Let me tell you something. I can see, touch, and smell everything I'm scared of. Make I name them for now. Eh? These are number one, gas bill. That's real horror film for me. Number two, electric. Hey. Number three, TV lights. Okay, TV, that's not real. I don't pay that. I don't pay that nonsense. Listen, I'm on TV and I still don't pay TV license. And when they pay me, that's reparations, bitch. TV license, you're mad. Whenever they knock on my door, I give them man the same answer. No speaking English. Okay, let me not be a hypocrite. I do have a couple of abstract fear. Well, one abstract fear, which is probably my biggest fear. My biggest fear, which is abstract, is failing my kids. The idea that every choice I make, and as a result, every mistake, could risk perpetuating the generational trauma I struggle with to my kids terrifies me. And I was talking to my wife the other day. Oh yeah, I'm married. Sorry, ladies. And of course, this is 21st century Britain, so sorry, gentlemen, as well. I'm an equal opportunities disappointment. My mother and father are both equally disappointed in me. Nah, but my wife, man, big up to her, man. Like, she's always had my back, even when no one else did. And she's always believed in me, even when I didn't believe in myself. And most, if not all of my best ideas have come from talking to that woman. And yeah. And recently she said something to me that really touched me. She said, Nabil, sorry, she hates that voice. And also, she's here somewhere. She can strike at any moment. No. Okay, just to be fair, my wife doesn't actually sound like that. That's just what I hear. Whenever I'm wrong, which isn't that often. Yeah. Listen, man, we've been married for like 14 years now. And yeah, thank you. Yeah, thanks. And some Croydon bros like, wow, that's wrong, don't worry, I'm not gonna say. But like, what is like, we've been married for a long time, and all my friends think we're weird because like we like to spend time with each other. Like we look forward to going home, we play video games together, watch TV shows together. Be like, raw, you and your wife actually like each other, That's mad. What's the secret? Isn't that sad that people think you need a secret to get on with your wife? There's no secret, it's just compromise. The reason me and my wife work so well together is simple. I don't always listen to my wife. Don't get me, I didn't say I never listen to her. No. If I said that, that would make me a sexist and a misogynist. But if I always listen to her, that would either make me insane or dead. So we've reached a happy middle ground where I listen to her half the time. And honestly, it's fantastic. Wallahi, it's amazing. Sometimes she says some stuff, I'm like, wow! That was profound. I wonder what else she says when I'm not listening. But I dare not find out because curiosity killed the cat and them thing there, You don't need to know all the secrets of the universe. But I have a confession to make. I'm a very good husband, okay? If you're a husband, you want to be like me. I'm a great husband. But I wasn't always a good husband. I was once a shit husband, shit husband. Because I didn't have the motivation to be a good husband, but now I found it. I want to keep the other half of my stuff. You're laughing. Listen, women, you don't know how hard it is to be a good husband and a poor man. Let me tell you something, huh? The motivation is not there. Like, oh, you're angry. Ooh. Oh, you want to leave? I'm in overdraft already. Like, what? Will you take half my debt? Okay, go. I'll pack for you. Get out. No, but no, but as soon as my career fixed up, I fixed up too. Look sharp. Now I come home early and I talk about feelings and salad. And my wife and I, we have this thing that we do. Yeah, we have this thing that we do where we unpack our trauma. Yeah, see, she's got man speaking TikTok and that. No, I think I'm a really big advocate for delving into trauma. If you're in a couple, if you're married, you're in a relationship, go and get counseling, get therapy, or an exorcism or something, because there's too many people just passing demons onto each other and they don't know. No, my wife and I, we've done some serious trauma work. We've delved into it. We've gotten all kinds of, and I'm not here to talk about her problems because I'm not that type of comedian. Nah, I'm not that type of comedian. This is not that type of show. And we don't have that much time. So, now some people are like, oh, Nabil, you know what? You're in comedy now. It's an industry full of lots of people similar to you, and it seems to be going all right. Surely you're happy. No! I hate comedians more than I hate regular people. Because they're all moist. I don't like them. I've only met like 4 I didn't want to smack, and I still slapped 2 of them, right? But it's from my trauma, so you can't judge me. You can't, no. We all process things differently. Now, here's the reason why I hate comedians and actors and all them art man them, yeah? Now, here's the thing. Unlike most of the comedians you would have seen on social media, on television, or on stage, I genuinely was diagnosed with ADHD at the age of 6. This was before the pandemic of ADHD that only seems to affect people that graduated from Cambridge and became entertainers because they weren't good at anything else and have nothing to talk about. No, I was in a country full of quiet people called Nigeria. Yeah, and I was messing about at school at the age of 6, and the teacher wrote a letter to my mom saying, we want to give him a test to see if he's stupid or there's another problem. And true story, word for word, that is what they said to my mom. They then gave me a test and found out that not only was I not stupid, at 6, I was 5 years ahead mentally than most kids my age. They told my mom, congratulations, he's not stupid, he's just mad. And that was it. There was no support group, no laptops, no starter pack to be a TikTok influencer, nothing. Nothing, right? Right? My dad's a doctor, so he chose not to medicate me, right? The way I was treated for ADHD is a method that no one likes to talk about now because it's taboo, called parenting. And they gave me responsibility and chose, right? Listen, I'm not saying it was perfect. There were times where I still was over or understimulated, so I did crazy stuff, like I may have set the neighbor's farm on fire a couple of times. It was a good idea at the time. But even then, when I was out of control, my parents never medicated me. They just beat me. So you can imagine why I don't like these new ADHD generation. Don't get me wrong. If you're in the audience and you're neurodivergent, ADHD, autism, and you went about it the right way, you got diagnosed, you're getting help, I have no problem with you. My problem is with these people that instead of building a personality, they watched a short video on social media and felt seen. You know what I'm talking about. You know those people that meet you, they introduce themselves to you and tell you every physical and mental illness they have at once. Like, hi, I'm Bob, I've got ADHD, BPD, OCD. I also suffer from a severe case of CUNT. That is annoying. Why is it only mental health? Why is it only mental health that's being gentrified? No one comes home and says, wow, I feel so spontaneous today, full of energy. It must be the syphilis, right? Nobody. And they probably have that. So sometimes it just feels like I don't fit in anywhere, right? I've always been alone, and you'll never see me with a big group of people. I don't feel like I fit in anywhere because I'm too normal to hang around Canadians, but I'm too weird to hang around with you guys, right? Like I did a show a few years back. I never got to take it to Croydon. It was locked down and all this stuff. I did a tour show similar to this called Nabil, Nabil. It was an acronym for nobody actually believed I'd last. Yeah, I know. I took the day off and I came up with that name, honey. Oh, no, no, it was a show that talked about my life and everything I've went through from point A to where I am now. So, being diagnosed ADHD as a kid, abuse I suffered as a kid, seeing the fall of the military regime in Nigeria and the rise of our current democracy that we have now, witnessing ethnic cleansing in my homeland of northern Nigeria, coming to the UK, getting stabbed, getting involved in crime, going to jail, coming out of jail, helping hundreds of young men turn their lives around, and becoming the comedian in front of you today. That was the show. And it was an uplifting show. I wanted to show people you can be from where I've been and still do well. Most people liked it, except for this one guy, a reviewer. This is what he had to say. He didn't delve deep enough into the ADHD, and the way the material discussing the dark elements of his life came across as light-hearted. Well, you mean funny? What people pay me to be. I felt like writing a letter saying, "Dear sir, I'm so sorry I didn't write enough jokes about ADHD for your liking. It's just that every time I sat down to write them, I got a bit distracted." But I didn't write that because that was a joke. He wouldn't have gotten it, right? And also, I'm sorry I didn't delve deeply enough into something traumatic for me. I'm sorry I didn't delve deeply enough into something that got me called retarded at school. And I'm sorry if anyone in the room is triggered by the word retarded. You have to understand, this is comedy, okay? The law of relativity applies here. It's not me saying retarded. It's my bullies back then saying retarded. And you have to understand, bullies back then weren't as open-minded as the bullies of today, who check your preferred pronouns before they beat you up. So, teachers back then just didn't have enough information. So, I think it's annoying because these people can now, like, you have some of these people, they will blame everything wrong with them on a mental health condition they don't have and make it harder for those of us who do have it, right? To the point where they could make it a song like, "I just sexually harassed a dead pig. I've got ADHD. I just urinated on a homeless man. I've got ADHD. I just punched a photographer. I've got ADHD. I just cheated on my wife at work. I've got ADHD. I just lied on my tax return." You're a Tory. You're a goddamn Tory politician. That's what you are. There was this one comedian that did it, right? I don't want to name him, but it's Tom Binns. Fuck that guy. Respectfully. No, this guy is human trash. Genuinely is. I genuinely do hate him. I'll explain. Thank you for asking. This man got caught with 4,000 indecent images of children. Now that's not funny. But what is was his excuse for having the images. Does anybody want to hazard a guess? Mashallah, habibi. I look up to you, you listen. All right, like you. Yeah, that's right. This guy said that he's got ADHD, and that his ADHD medication had side effects that made him hyper-focus and download all that child porn. I read that and I was like, raw! Those are the side effects? Woo! For the first time in my life, I said, Alhamdulillah. I'm so glad my parents just beat me. Because I'm not saying there's no side effect, but I'm okay. It's not that bad. My search history is cleaner than his. That's what I'm saying. Right? Listen, now some people have very, very meanly accused me of being offensive and controversial and divisive. No. I'm just honest. Now, could you afford me a moment of honesty? Good, I was going to do it anyway. But I had to make you think you had a choice. That's how democracy works. Shout out Rishi Sunak. So, no, what it is here is that, how many of you here in the room have heard of Tom Binns before? No? Okay, I won't judge you. Okay, here's the thing though. Human beings, we're a pictorial race. We're the only group of, we're the only creatures on earth that can accurately imagine something without ever seeing it, just from description or hearing of it, to the point where an atheist can even picture heaven. That's just the wonders of the human mind, right? Now, I'd never heard of Tom Binns till I saw this story. Most of you never heard of Tom Binns till I started telling you this story. But a lot of you have probably imagined a Tom Binns. Now, I want to ask you some questions about this man that you have imagined. This man that you imagined, does he look like he's naturally a good dancer? No? Does he look like somebody that enjoys spicy food? Does he look like somebody that was religiously watching the African Cup of Nations? No? Okay. This man, was he melanin deficient? Aha! So you imagine the white man. Me too. And we were right. Tom Binns is a very white man. Grade A. But it's wrong to racialize crime. I believe that for obvious reasons. I have matched the description many times in my life, and a few times it was accurate. But all I'm saying, but no, I'm not. I'm not. Listen, these people, nonsense exists in every walk of life, in every social class, in every religious group. They're not all just white PE teachers. They come. They're not, and we should listen. How they come in every shape and size. I'm not here to convince you that most pedophiles are white men. Statistics do that, not me. How I knew he was white had nothing to do with the crime. Nothing. It was to do with the fact that this man got caught red-handed and still thought he could talk his way out of the situation. I'm sorry, we all know that if that had been a black man, he would have said it wasn't me and hoped for the best, right? We even have a song based on that very premise. And we all know if that had been a Nigerian, he would have blamed the devil. It wasn't me. It was Satan. But only a white Englishman would try and gaslight the law after being like, what? Poppycock? Unhand me? How very dare you? What do you mean you found my fingerprints? Impossible. I donated those to charity last year. What do you mean you found DNA particles from sweat? Impossible. I don't sweat. Can't say I'm lying. All I'm saying is I don't know why this guy didn't just blame immigration like everyone else. Because that seems to work with everything, Now here's the thing. When you're a comedian likes to try and talk about serious issues like I try to, people assume you're trying to be some kind of social activist, and they put you on these shows where you argue with people. Me, I'm not trying to be a social activist. But I'll take the money. So I was on one of these shows where I had to argue with someone. And this guy came out and laid his thick on immigrants. He said, we're having a financial crisis. I blame immigration. We didn't bring back the World Cup. I blame immigration. The weather is shit. I blame immigration. And my wife, my sweet Mildred, left me. I blame immigration. That last one was kind of true, though, still. I'm on bigger man like Babatunde. Come on. Can you blame her? Why is she going to stay with mashed potato when she can get pounded yam? Come on. Plantain is healthier than banana. What do you mean? Hey, they say once you go black, there's no coming back. But once you try Nigeria, no one else can meet the criteria. That's all Nigeria. Some people describe his views as right-wing. I don't like that. I don't believe in that terminology. I don't like terms like left-wing or right-wing. I don't like terms like centrist because that's another word for twat. But I don't like terms like left-wing or right-wing because I believe that these are terms created by the aristocracy to stop the common people from finding common grounds, right? Because once someone has the wrong label, you don't want to talk to them about anything you have in common. And they might have more in common with you than they have different. But because they have that label, oh, they're scum. And it's annoying because, nobody is as left or as right-wing as they think they are. Not even our politicians. Look at them. They don't know if they're coming or going, right? And then like a lot of people, it's just based on where they grew up, who they're around, and what they've been taught to say is the right thing to call yourself. I know people who are just left or right wing for fashion. Fashion socialists, they don't even know what it means. I know people that used to shout, tax the rich, but then went quiet when they found out that technically they're rich. And everybody is against the death penalty until somebody parks in your driveway. So we've all been there. So all I'm saying is I don't care if you're left wing or right wing. If we disagree, I think we should be adults and we should be able to have a mature, respectful discussion. But like, don't get me wrong though, if you say something racist, when you wake up, we can continue this conversation from a place of renewed clarity on your part. Because human beings are computers, and some computers from time to time need a factory reset. So I approached this man respectfully and I said, listen, pussy-o, it seems to me that you don't like immigrants. Why? What's your beef? What did the man with the tan ever do to you? And he said, now, calm down, my boy. I never said I hated all immigrants. You seem rather lovely. But those, I said, oh, this is going to be good. Those vile immigrants, they come over here. They live in the lap of luxury at the expense of the British taxpayer. They bring with them their backwards, disgusting cultures. They don't integrate. They look down on us. They don't respect our laws or our customs. They inbreed among themselves and their cousins. They groom young girls. They honor kill their daughters for mixing with men from the wrong cultures and disown their sons for the same reason. How can you defend these vile immigrants? I said, Rob, this guy's got a point. The royal family is terrible. They have... Some of you were worried, innit? My oldest daughter is 9, which means mentally she's about 12, because these children know things we did not know when we were little, like how to turn on a computer. I could just about open a jam jar at that age. Right? And the thing is, because she's mentally about 12, society will treat her like she's 15, because that's what society does to black girls. It's called adultification. Right? So I'm walking down the street with my daughter, and I'm worried about things that the father of a 9-year-old should not be scared of. I'm paranoid, I'm looking out, I'm watching, dodging, flipping drug dealers, gang members, murderers, killers, and it's tough because I love my friends. We have to be honest. Our friends are the biggest influence on our kids, and I'll be real with you. My friends come in 2 categories. Semi-retired roadman and conspiracy theorists, right? And I'm not gonna lie, I prefer bumping into the roadman, right? Because roadmen don't waste your time. They've got crime to go commit, right? They say, yo, Wagwan King, you all right? Hello, princess, here's 200 pounds. Buy something for yourself. All right, big man, here's a watch I got earlier. You didn't see me today, blood. Just. He then takes his child to school. Baby shark, do this. Whereas conspiracy theorists always want to waste your time. Who here has a conspiracy theorist friend? Huh? The one that mashes up the group chat every single time. If you don't know who it is, you probably believe in chemtrails. That's all I'm saying. Like, have you noticed how they all went crazy during the lockdown? My friend went into lockdown as John, came back as Lord Shambhala. Bro, that brother is gone, finished, finito, kaput, gone. He doesn't even do small talk anymore. He just wants to tell you everything he learned at 2 o'clock in the morning on YouTube Shorts, right? How could I be doing the school run? Of course, I'm going to hail up my brethren when I say, I'm like, yo, Wagwan Shambhala, you all right? This is him. How can man be all right? How can man be all right when the Illuminati? I'm like, oh my God. This guy starts crossing the busy street, not looking at traffic lights, cars are swerving. The Illuminati is trying to murk man blood. You hear me? It's a madness. Babylon. I'm like, bro, calm down. Nobody's trying to kill you. You're trying to kill yourself. You just walk through a busy South London street without looking at the traffic lights. My guy said, hey, yo, big man. Man don't watch traffic lights to dictate my movements. You see the red light, green light thing? That's the Illuminati brainwashing thing, blood. Haven't you watched that documentary? The Squid Games? I said, brother, that's not no documentary, man. Said, yeah? Then how come sisters come out? I'm seeing red light, green light on all the roads, man. I said, they're traffic lights. They've always been there. Man said, that's what they want you to think. Aye, big man, don't take the vaccine, you know. Don't take the bumper clot vaccine. I said, why not? He said, bruv, do you even know what's in the... Do you even know what's in the vaccine? I said, brother, do you know what's in that spliff you're smoking? Man said, that's why I don't like talking to you. You're always asking man bare questions. Too many questions. Suck your mum, listen. You see the vaccine, yeah? It's liquid 5G, blood. It's a population control thing. I said, what does liquid 5G have to do with population control? He said, they're trying to inject us with it to turn us gay. I said, bro, let's just assume that that's not scientifically impossible or homophobic, because if we don't, there's too much to unpack. If the vaccine is meant to turn us gay, what happens to gay people when they take it? They already exist, you know. Man said, that's why I don't like talking to you. Always asking man bad questions. Too many questions. Suck your mom, listen. Obviously, if you're gay, you take the If you're gay, you take the vaccine, yeah, it makes you 5 times more gayer than you were before you took it, blood. Think. Why do you think they call it 5G, blood? Stands for 5 gay, everybody. And he walked over. My daughter said, Daddy, what's wrong with that man? I said, many things. Have you ever heard of skunk before? But here's the, I'll be honest with you, as mad as the environment is, the politics, the media, I worry that I'm the worst influence on my kids. Because I'm trying to be a good man. Honestly, I am. I'm trying to be better, but I don't know what that looks like, because every day I'm finding out that the outlook that I was raised with, things I was taught, don't apply to this world now. Every day I'm finding out that I'm wrong. And when I try and keep up with this new phantasmagoria of morals that we're supposed to say, do, follow, every day, when I try and follow what the new morals are, I make a mistake. I fall flat on my face. Like, that's how the other day I nearly committed a hate crime, trying to prove that I wasn't racist. I can explain. I was walking majestically through Chinatown. Fuck you, I can walk majestically. I was walking majestically through Chinatown, and I accidentally bumped into an older Chinese man, and I knocked him down because physics. Now, I went to pick him up because that was the right thing to do, and as I did, he turned to me and said, "Chew need that whole white, chew need that." Now, that roughly translates to, "Fuck you, black ghost." Now, that upset me, not because of the racism or the vulgarity, but he called man ghost, blood. How you gonna call man a ghost, though? Like, if I was a spirit, you'd have just passed through me and we wouldn't be in this situation. I was upset because I'm a sensitive guy, I am. You know, I wear my heart on my sleeve. I'm a sensitive guy. So I thought the best way to just resolve this issue so we can both go home and get on with our day would be to beat him up. So, as I began making the preparations, the voice in my head that wants me to be better said, "No, Nabil, don't do this. It's wrong. Walk away. Be the bigger man. You're always the bigger man. Walk away." And I did. I walked away. But here's the thing about walking away from a fight, especially when you've done nothing wrong. If you're a man from my generation, raised in a similar environment to me, And there's a few of us here I can see. You know why it's hard in this situation to walk away? Because we don't like to take a loss. Now, women are thinking, that's not a loss, it's just the moral victory. No. That is not how our brains work. You see, for us, a loss is any situation where we don't look as hard, as tough, as alpha as we like to think we are in our heads. And it's a very, very bad thing in the male ego, because it will make you relive arguments you had 9 years ago in the shower. When you finally figure out what you should have said to that cunt in the parking spot yesterday. And I had one of those moments as I was walking away from this guy. I thought, bun this guy, blood. Old Chinese man trying to fight me. Is he mad? Probably knew Kung Fu or something. Don't laugh. If you laugh, that's racist. It is, because, and the voice in my, I felt shame straight away, because the voice in my head that holds me accountable, held me accountable for having that voice. Said, no, Nabil, you can't say that. That is racial discrimination. You can't not fight that man just because you think he knows Kung Fu, just because he's Chinese. That is racist. Now you have to go back and fight that man to prove. You need to go beat him up to prove that you don't think the old Chinese people know Kung Fu. And I said, fair enough, it's the right thing to do. So I started going back, and I was like, oh my God, I'm so ashamed of myself. I can't believe I deprived this gentleman of a beating just because of his ethnic makeup. I'm going to introduce him to my friends, social and justice, And I thought about it. You know what? Media has been very racist to Chinese people. It has. Because up until recently, like the last 7 or 8 years, which is nothing in media, every time you saw a program and the protagonist, the hero, was Chinese, the entire program revolved around stereotypes to do with Kung Fu. And that is disgusting. Only like 10% of Chinese people know anything about Kung Fu. But then I thought, hold on. There's 1.3 billion of them man there, yeah? 10% is 130 million people that know Kung Fu. That's double our national population of people that could punch me in the neck and deactivate my testicles forever. That's not a risk I want to take. But by then I was already in front of the guy. There was nothing I could do. And I'm from the streets. I do what I do to survive, bro. So I reached out and I did the only thing I could do. I shook his hand and I said, sir, I'm sorry. Because that's the way real men should resolve conflict with anyone that might know Kung Fu. Thing is, he didn't even want to fight anyway. He was scared. He thought I had a gun. The moral of the story is that casual racism can save your life. But you know what, people? Look, as much as I love this art form, and you hear me talk about freedom of speech, even though we all know it doesn't exist. But, I defend it a lot, But I also believe in social responsibility. Words hurt people. Jokes are words. Jokes hurt people. I'm here to entertain, not hurt. So genuinely, if anybody in the room has been made to feel small, hurt, disrespected, upset, or I've said anything in any way ignorant or bigoted, from the bottom of my heart, fuck to you. You are very bitch. No, but honestly, we have a tradition. In northern Nigeria, we have a saying: if you don't like the movement of the moon, get a ladder and change it, right? And as Muslims, we have a core belief, we have a teaching that if you see an evil, you change it, you correct it with your hands. If you can't correct it with your hands, you speak out against it. If you can't speak out against it, you feel the anger about that thing in your heart. But that is the lowest amount of faith. So, a lot of people don't know this, but for years in this borough, I've done all kinds of grassroots work with the homeless, with ex-offenders, with abuse victims. And off the back of that, I got invited to the House of Lords. And I should have known it was a setup, because they were way too polite, man, when we were at. We were, welcome, Mr. Abdulrashid. Now, tell us, how can we stop this? What's causing it? What's causing the rise of gang crime in South London? I said, right. I ain't telling you nothing, cuz I'm from Croydon, we don't snitch, so woo, gang. Said, oh yes, the code of the streets, very good. I think you'll find we, the Conservative Party, are quite gangster ourselves. Now, tell us, how can we solve this problem? We've done nothing and we're out of ideas. And I said, look, man, it's not befitting of me to tell you how to do your job. He said, no, please tell us. Yes, please tell us. Yes, please. Magical Negro, please tell us. How can we save the ghetto? Ghetto. I said, look, man, I've got an idea. You see the millions and billions of pounds we spend arming people to drop bombs and helping them bomb people who can't afford to eat food and drink clean water. Maybe we should siphon some of that money back to inner cities in the UK so that working class, white kids, black kids, Asian kids, kids from broken homes, kids from disadvantaged backgrounds can have the same opportunities that yours do. But I realize it's a pipe dream because all that money is now tied up paying prosecution lawyers to stop ISIS brides from coming back. So, and I must say to everyone in the room who isn't Muslim, look, Muslims in the UK, we are not a monolith. There's divide among us, healthy divide. In the UK alone, there's Sunni and Shia. Among the Sunni, you've got Hanafi, Hanbali, Salafi, Shafi'i, Maliki, Sufi. Among the Shias, you've got Alawi, you've got Jafari, you've got Ismaili. We've even got weird Islamic cults like Muslim Arsenal supporters. And nobody likes those guys, right? And, we're all divided, not just in theology, but politics as well. For example, Shamima Begum, right? That's a topic of contention. When I first wrote this show, I was among the camp of Muslims, and there are many who wanted her to stay over there. My wife, however, wanted her back in the UK because my wife actually suffers from a very painful condition called empathy. It's contagious as well. And my wife and I, we would debate about it. She's like, oh, but Nabil, she was so young when it happened. We have to just understand she was groomed. I said, yeah, but so are all these boys in gangs who go crunch to sell drugs at county lines, but we don't welcome them back with open arms. We give them criminal records and ruin their lives. So why should Shamima Begum get a pass just because she's pretty? And she said, oh, but Nabil, you have to understand. She went there for love. I said, how? How do you convince somebody that going to join ISIS is romantic? Like, what do? Do you have like a musical presentation? Come with me and you'll see a world of mass decapitation. Don't stop me now, we're having such a good time. Killing kuffar. Like, how? Yallah habibi, join ISIS, please join. We have a Burger King, we have Bebzi, we have shawarma, we even have jihadi daddy daycare. My wife got angry, like, no. And then as if by magic, Shamima Begum appeared on TV. This was when she was in all black. Not like now that she's doing Hot Girl Summer. And they're like, Shamima, is there anything you want the great British public to hear from you? She said, yeah, they should feel sorry for me. I didn't know what to get myself into. Kasme, bro, meri maadi kasam yaar, I didn't know any. I just went for the rich tiny, I didn't know. Kasme, bro. My wife was like, you see, there's something wrong with her. Look at how she talks. I said, she's from Whitechapel. That's how they all talk. I said, but Nabil, that's somebody's daughter you're laughing at. How would you like it if people laughed at your daughter for making a mistake? Yeah, that one hit me right in the empathy. And she was right. She was right, because it got me thinking, like, look, man, I touched on mental health at the start of the show. But generally, I don't dwell on it because, look, I'm fine now. Like, I dealt with it, I'm fine now. Life is great. But I remember a time, not too long ago, about 7 years ago, where life wasn't so great, at least not in my head. And I remember when it came to the worst it had been in a while, I was sat in a room darker than this in a corner. And I was sat on the floor with my head in my hands, rocking back and forth, shaking, with tears streaming out of my eyes. And I didn't know what was wrong with me at the time, but I now know that I was struggling with a condition that's taken the lives of many young men, especially young fathers in the UK. And I hope that if there's any men in the room that know what I'm talking about or who have struggled with it, get help, talk to someone. It doesn't make you less of a man. But yeah, in that day, I was in a very dark place. And I was thinking about how much better the world would be for everyone, my family and my friends, if I went to sleep that night and didn't wake up the next morning. And I was thinking of the best way to make that happen. And I hope if anyone's ever been at that point, that you're not around your kids, because I was. My older daughter must have been only about 2 at the time, and she saw me in this state. She didn't know. Thank you. No, honestly, I'm fine. But my daughter had a box of wipes she used to play with, and she grabbed it and she pulled out one of them, walked up to me and wiped my forehead and said, "Don't sad, Daddy, okay?" And yeah, she doesn't know it, but that day she saved my life. And I think, yeah. The way I feel about that child, words can't quantify. And I'm sure Shamima's dad feels the same way about her. And I'm sure the fathers of all these kids we're seeing dying in Sudan, in Rohingya Burma, in northern Nigeria, in southern Nigeria, in Central African Republic, in Congo, in Gaza. I'm sure all these kids' parents have the same love for their kids. What have we become that we can sit down in indifference and watch these kids? I'm not trying to change anyone's politics, right? I'm not. And I'm not saying I have the solution, but maybe the first step is, instead of indifference, we should have empathy. Look, man, I mentioned earlier my wife's Pakistani, right? So she doesn't look like me. She's not a 6 foot, 25 stone Nigerian man. Or at least she wasn't when we came here. And you know, my wife is a little Asian woman in a hijab about yay high, right? So our kids look nothing like her. Like when they were little, they had massive afros. So like when my wife was out with them, they didn't look like mother and daughter. They looked like the front page of a really woke feminist magazine, right? They look like an EDL member's worst nightmare. Like, oh no, they're evolving, right? And you know, like my wife looks like a halal au pair, you know? And like when they're out, I would pull pranks on her. I would make them run off and scream, "Help! Help! She's not our mom," right? I'm like, "Oh no, that's terrible. Who do we grab? What's less racist? Do we grab the Afro baby or the hijabi," right? But you know, the amount of joy I have in those kids is amazing. And I'm sure those children that you're seeing on your screens dying in these countries, their parents had these memories too. And you know, while I was deliberating on that, the guy at the House of Lords was like, "That's all very profound, Mr. Abdulrashid. But what in the bloody hell did that have to do with the question I just asked you about gang violence in South London?" And I said, "Oh shit, sorry. Did I go off on a tangent again? Sorry, I do that sometimes. I forgot to mention, I've got ADHD." You know, in the Quran it says, life is but a fleeting dream. And it's true, time flies. Look, many of you can remember getting ready to come here. Now, here we are. Spend time with your loved ones, cherish every moment. Sick, old, young, whatever. You never know, right? Time flies. Like, I got this reminder from Google Images. You know how it will send you a compilation of pictures and videos you took on a day you were out on a certain date? I got sent that from when I was out on a daddy-daughter day with my daughter. Some of you from Croydon might have seen me out and about sometimes with my daughters. I take them on little dates. And I was out with them on West Croydon High Street, of all places. Because it's like Rome. All roads lead to it. We're all going to end up there one day here. And I was walking through West Croydon High Street, and we walked past a homeless person begging, of which we have so many. And my daughter saw him and said, "Daddy, what's wrong with that man?" And I said, "Sweetheart, he's homeless. He doesn't have the privilege that we have, disposable income, a home to go to. But just because he has less than us doesn't make him less than us. We shouldn't look down on him. The same God created us." And our daughter said, "Okay, Daddy, that's amazing. Daddy, could we have some money to give to him?" And I said, "Sure." I gave them £1 each, and they both skipped and waddled to him. And they gave it to him, and he was happy. He thanked them, and he smiled. And my daughters ran back ecstatic. "Daddy, Daddy, he's smiling. He's happy." My kids were happy they did something for someone in no position to pay them back. And on that day, I was the proudest father on earth. Until they ruined it. Because they turned back, and my man was still there begging. They were like, "Hey, Daddy, we just gave that man £2. Why is he still outside begging? Why isn't he bought a house? Why isn't he bought a car?" I thought, oh shit. I'm raising Tories. And I said to them, no. The money we've given him is not enough to help him live a dignified life. We need to tear down the system and replace it. Nah, damn daddy, silly daddy. Why does everybody in Croydon give him £2? Then he'll be able to. I said, we can't give him that much money. He might buy drugs. Now I sound like a Tory. I see how that happens. It's always money. And what I'm trying to explain the world to my little one, the big one, perhaps, Daddy, let's speak. Yes, speak, please, Daddy. Daddy, what if, Daddy, we give all the things that we don't need to people that need it, and all the money that we have that we don't need to people that need that? Then nobody be poor and everybody be rich. And I was like, oh, shut up, you hippie. I didn't actually say that, I thought it. What I said was, no, sweetheart, we couldn't have a society where everybody's rich and nobody's poor. It wouldn't work. She said, why? I said, because we couldn't have a society where everybody's rich. It just wouldn't come. She said, why? I said, because it's a Marxist fantasy. She said, so? What's wrong with Marxist fantasies? And I said, fucking hell. These kids, they just ask these questions, you're not ready for it. What's wrong with Marxist fantasy? I had to be honest. I had to. She went out and said, she said, Daddy, what's wrong with Marxist fantasies? And I had to be honest. I said, that's why I don't like talking to you. Always asking my bad questions. Too many questions. Thank you and good night. Thank you for coming. I love you, Croydon. Thank you. Know what it is. Bringing it back. Bringing it back.
If you vibe, gon' hit ya. People who ride with ya, get it live. Who can paint that picture? Ain't no way we losing inches. Climb them fences. Get bruised up, got stitches. Bring them back to their senses. Know how the game go. Checks and payrolls remain the same. No forecast, Eli, baby. Time out, ride out. You can let them hate me. Get along everywhere we go. Don't carry vendettas, doing everything better. Step into the scene and they stuck like